President, we are grateful to Jean-Pierre Lacroix and Bintou Keïtou and Joyce Msui for their briefings. We welcome the participation in this meeting of the Foreign Minister of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Teresa Wagner, and the representatives of Rwanda, Angola, South Africa, and Uruguay. Mr. President, we're extremely dismayed by the current escalation by the M23, and we condemn it. Because of its actions, the civilian population is the one that is suffering. First and foremost, we express our condolences to the families of all the citizens of the DRC who have died. We're forced to witness another wave of IDPs. Their number, according to the latest UN figures, has exceeded 400,000. Many of these people were already internally displaced persons and were living in refugee camps in the harshest conditions. And we're particularly concerned about the use in the area of direct conflict of advanced weapon systems, the use of heavy artillery close to civilian infrastructure. And we're also troubled by the continued use of electronic warfare means, which creates a threat, inter alia, for civilian aviation. Unfortunately, the UN mission to stabilize the DRC has also taken casualties. We express our condolences to the families of the peacekeepers that have died from South Africa and Uruguay, as well as the governments of these countries. We hope for the speediest recovery of the wounded from other contingents. Russia has unconditionally condemns attacks against blue helmets. As a result of one of such attacks in March of 2022, one of our nationals, a senior member of the Russian military observers group, Alexei Mizuro, died. We express our support and gratitude to the UN mission to stabilize the DRC and its leadership and peacekeepers. We also express our deepest condolences to the families of the fighters of the Southern Africa Development Community in Malawi who were killed. Russia expresses solidarity with the governments of these countries and the contingents of this SADC. We hope for their quickest recovery. The current escalation after the breakdown of the Luanda summit at the end of last year is clear evidence of the price that has to be paid when political instruments do not function. We call for an immediate cessation of military activities and return of Rwanda and the DRC to the negotiating table with Angolan mediation, as well as the confirmation by the parties of their commitment to the mutual obligations in the framework of the Luanda process. At the same time, we'd like to underscore that real progress on the diplomatic track will only be possible after the end of relations of states with illegal armed groups. This applies first and foremost to M23 and the Force Démocratique for the Libération of Rwanda, FDLR. Whether the parameters of this process will be determined in the framework of relaunching of the Nairobi process or the result of other initiatives, that should be decided by Rwanda and the DRC. However, it is clear that this issue requires a comprehensive approach and certain flexibility by both sides. Without tackling it, it will not be possible to find a sustainable and viable formula for political resolution of the conflict, and this must be done immediately to avoid the worst. Mr. President, we should not forget that the central element of this crisis is the illegal exploitation of the Congolese natural resources. It's no secret for anyone that currently in the region rich in coltan, and of Rubaya, which is under the control of M23. It's also, everyone also knows that other groups and external players are involved in this criminal business. We all know who they are. and they are enriching themselves by smuggling blood natural resources from the eastern part of the DRC. We are convinced that the struggle to gain access towards strategically important Congolese minerals is one of the reasons for the continuation of the crisis we're witnessing. Once again, we call on countries with political and economic influence in the region to use it and to work with the main protagonists. This could contribute to a rapid end of the escalation, which was demonstrated very well by the situation that we witnessed in 2012 and 2013. At the same time, together with other members of the Security Council, we will continue working on coordinating the appropriate reaction to these events, which are taking place in the east of the DRC. We hope that we will be able to find the right language that will contribute to ending the suffering of the civilian population and a return to negotiations. In conclusion, I'd like to say that we should not forget about the fact that the instability in the Great Lakes region is to a large extent a legacy of the colonial period. It was precisely then that the metropoles of the time laid the ticking time bombs that the region continues to suffer from. We see how the Congolese are tired of violence and how much they just want to live and work on their own land. Russia, as a permanent member of the Security Council, will do everything possible to bring this long-for moment closer. Thank you very much.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation. I now give the floor to the representative of Panama.
Mr.
President, my delegation would like to thank the presidency of this council for making the relevant arrangements to convene this emergency meeting to address the alarming situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We'd also like to welcome the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We recognize and we value the briefing by the Special Representative of the Secretary General to the DRC and the head of MONUSCO, Ms. Bintou Keita, whose leadership is crucial at this critical juncture. We also convey our solidarity in light of the news that has been conveyed today, which is unacceptable to the Republic of Panama. We also extend our thanks to USG Jean-Pierre Lacroix and ASG Joyce Masuya. We thank them for their valuable contributions in this complex scenario, which has had a direct effect on tens and hundreds of thousands of displaced persons. Panama expresses its deep concern at the escalating conflict in the east of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, marked by the recent advances of the March 23 movement rebel group in North Kivu, which has further worsened the already precarious humanitarian and security situation. The recent 23rd of January offensive has worsened the mass displacement of civilians towards Goma and has caused irreparable harm, including the tragic death of the military governor of North Kivu, Major General Peter Sirimwani. The M23's advances, as well as the consolidation of local de facto administrations, not only pose a serious threat to the stability of the region, but also directly threaten international efforts in mediation and peacemaking, such as those under the Luanda and Nairobi processes. We condemn in the strongest terms the actions of the M23 and of all those which directly or indirectly are fueling this crisis. It's urgent for all actors to act responsibly and immediately end any form of support for the armed groups. Failing this, the suffering of the Congolese people will worsen yet further. President, these events are also jeopardizing the lives of UN personnel and stymieing their ability to effectively implement their mandate. Against this backdrop, it is essential for this Council to enhance its support for MONUSCO, guaranteeing the necessary resources and support to enable it to respond to the current challenges and to protect the most vulnerable populations. We reject